Santham Academy. Welcome to Digital Kaksha. To get updates on new videos, click the subscribe button and the bell icon.
Hello everyone, I am back again with the chapter Principles of Inheritance and Variations. So in this video, we will be dealing with the rediscovery of Mendel's laws and chromosomal theory of inheritance. As you know that Mendel published his work in 1865-66, but till 1900 his work was not recognized. There were many reasons why his work was not recognized at that time. Let us see what are the reasons why Mendel's work was not recognized till 1900. So, the first reason was communication. You all know that at that time no internet, no emails, no faster means of communication were there. Only postal services may be there. So, his research work was not widely publicized. So, communication was lacking at that time. So, his work was not being publicized. The second reason is the concept of factors. Concept of factors means the genes and their alleles. Their existence was not accepted by the biologist because he only said that certain factors were there which were transmitted from one generation to the next generation. So, there was no physical proof of those factors and they occurred in pairs. So, now we know that they are the genes and the alleles, but at that time no physical proof was there that the characters they were carried on the genes and their alleles and they are being transmitted from one generation to the next generation. So, this concept was not accepted by the biologist. Second thing is that the concept of blending. He told in his second law that no blending or no mixing occurred. But in nature we have seen number of intermediate characters. So we cannot deny the fact that intermediate characters do not exist. So because of this reason, the concept of blending in the hybrid or the concept of intermixing in the hybrid was not acceptable by the biologist. So the characters are carried on by the genes and their alleles, and the alleles they do not mix up, or the characters they do not mix up or blend was not accepted by the biologist at that time. Now moving to the third reason. The third reason is use of mathematics in biology. As you know that in Mendel's laws and in Mendel's concepts, use of mathematics, statistics, probabilities and proportions, all these things were there. So at that time introducing mathematics into biology was not acceptable by many biologists. So he was the first person who introduced this probability concept, the ratio and proportion concept and statistics in case of biology. So that was not accepted at that time. The next thing is that there was no physical proof of the factors. Mendel told that some factors were there which were transmitted from one generation to another generation which have got characters coded on them. But what are those factors? What was the physical proof of that factors? That was not given by Mendel. So because of these four reasons, the Mendel's laws were not accepted, or the Mendel's research work was not accepted at that time. So what were those reasons? Number one was communication was very much difficult, so his research papers were not communicated well. Second thing is that the concept of factors, that is the genes and the alleles, and blending and mixing was not accepted by the biologist. Third reason is that the use of mathematics, ratios, proportions in biology was new at that time, so not accepted. And the fourth is that the Mendel could not provide any physical proof for the existence of the genes and the alleles. In 1900, three scientists, Correns, De Vries and von Schirmack, these three repeated Mendel's experiment and they found the same observations and results. So, at that time the microscopy was also advanced. So, as microscopy was advanced, the biologists, they were able to see the nucleus, and inside the nucleus the chromosomes can be seen. And they have observed that just before the cell division, the chromosomes, they used to multiply themselves. So, due to advancement in microscopy, the nucleus, the genetic material, that is the chromosomes, they were observed, and the replication of chromosomes or the duplication of chromosomes just before the cell division was also observed. So, they saw that something common or some connection was there between the Mendel's factors and the chromosomes. Later, this entire study was being done by two other scientists who gave the chromosomal theory of inheritance. So, let us see what is this chromosomal theory of inheritance. The chromosomal theory of inheritance was proposed independently by two biologists, Walter Sutton and Boveri, in 1902. On the basis of their studies on chromosomes and on the basis of their studies based on Mendel's observation and results, they combined the chromosomal segregation and Mendel's laws. They have seen that just before the cell division, the chromosomes, they used to multiply themselves, and then the copies were transmitted to the daughter cells in the next generation. The same thing Mendel also have told in his concept that the genes have got alleles, and these alleles, they separate at the time of gamete formation and they again come together at the time of hybrid formation. So, they felt that there was some connection between the Mendel's factors and the chromosomes. So, they have combined the chromosomal segregation, that is the separation of chromosomes during gamete formation in meiosis, and they combined the Mendel's laws of inheritance together, and together they gave the new concept, that is the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Chromosomal theory taken from the chromosomal segregation and theory of inheritance taken from the Mendel's laws. So, together that is chromosomal theory of inheritance. Now, let us see what are the postulates of chromosomal theory of inheritance. The first postulate is that all the hereditary characters, you know very well that the characters, they are coded on the genes, and the genes, they are present on the chromosomes, and the chromosomes, they are present inside the nucleus. So, the genetic material or the hereditary material will be coding for the characters, and these characters are carried to the next generation by means of the gametes, that is the sperm and the ovum. Okay? So, the gametes, they act as the bridge between the one generation and the next generation. So, these characters, they are being carried on the chromosomal material or on the genetic material by the gametes from one generation to the next generation. The second statement is that the hereditary material, they are present inside the nucleus. Why? Because they have seen that the genetic material which was present inside the nucleus, that genetic material used to replicate or divide just before the cell division. So, they have concluded that the hereditary characters which are carried on the genetic material are present inside the nucleus. The third point is that as there is something common between the chromosomes and the alleles, they have seen that the chromosomes, they also occur in pairs. You know that we human beings have got 23 pairs of chromosomes. So the chromosomes, they occur in pairs, and Mendel also told that the factors, they occur in pairs. So that were the alleles which occur in pairs, and these alleles, they are located on the chromosomes on homologous sites. So here they have told that the chromosomes as well as the alleles, they occur in pairs inside the nucleus. Now the next is the two alleles, they are located on the homologous chromosomes. Now let us see what are these homologous chromosomes. Homologous chromosomes are the pair of chromosomes which are similar in structure, similar in size, and they have got the same genes on the gene loci. Okay, so two chromosomes, that means a pair of chromosomes which have got same structure, same size, and the same position of genes on the chromosomes. So such chromosomes are called as homologous chromosomes. So these homologous chromosomes, they have got alleles on them. These two alleles are the two contrasting forms of the same gene. So they are present on the homologous chromosomes. Now we have studied cell division in class 11th. So in that, meiosis is the cell division by which the gametes are being formed. So in meiosis 1, in zygote, the bivalent formation occurs. Bivalent means that the two chromosomes or the two homologous chromosomes, they come together to form a bivalent. Now after this, the Pachytene stage is there. In the Pachytene stage, the chromosomal segments are being exchanged. That means the phenomena of synapse formation or the phenomena of chiasmata formation or crossing over occurs. Okay, so this is the main reason why the recombination occurs in the next generation, why the variations, they occur in the next generation, as the gametes which are being formed, they are formed as a result of the meiosis, and in meiosis the exchange of chromosomal segments take place. So as a result of this, we can explain the concept of segregation and independent assortment. In segregation, we have seen that the gametes, they separate at the time of the gamete formation, means simply the alleles, they separate at the time of gamete formation. Here also we have seen that the homologous chromosomes, after exchange of segments, they separate so that they can be divided and given to the gametes. So here the basis of segregation and independent assortment is the formation of synapse or crossing over between the two homologous chromosomes and separation of the homologous chromosomes during the gamete formation. So the same thing occurs in case of alleles also. The alleles, they come together at the time of hybrid formation and they separate at the time of gamete formation. So everything is dependent upon the gametes. That means the gametes, they are haploid in nature, and these haploid gametes, they fuse to restore the diploid state in the zygote. Now these gametes are formed of meiosis, so that is the reason why they are haploid in nature. So this was about the postulates of chromosomal theory of inheritance. Let's recall what are the postulates. Number one is that the hereditary characters, they are passed to the next generation by means of the gametes, and this hereditary material, it is present inside the nucleus. Third thing is that there is a common thing between the chromosomes and the alleles, as both of them occur in pairs. The fourth thing is that the two alleles, they are located on the homologous chromosomes. So that's why the homologous chromosomes, they occur in pairs. Next thing is that there is formation of synapse, chiasmata or crossing over occurs between the segments of the two chromosomes or the segments of two homologous chromosomes, resulting in variations in the gametes. So when the gametes they fuse with each other, it results in the diploid zygote which have got variations from the previous generation. So in this way, the chromosomal segregation together with Mendel's laws gave rise to the chromosomal theory of inheritance by Walter Sutton and Boveri in 1902. So in this video, we have studied about the rediscovery of Mendel's laws by Correns, De Vries and von Schirmack, and then Sutton and Boveri, they combined the chromosomal segregation and the Mendel's laws to give the chromosomal theory of inheritance. So, meet you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye. Take care.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like, share and subscribe for more.